Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurudeva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Chinmayam Vyapiyat Sarvam, Trailokyam Sacharacharam, Tatpadam Darshitam Yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Many a times you would be searching for something and not finding it anywhere. Very often, your own spectacles. Why you can't find it anywhere? Because it is with you. And still, if you feel it's lost, you search for it everywhere and you're not going to find it anywhere. In the same way, there are certain things we are constantly searching for them in the world outside, but never finding them because they're already with us. And that's the great secret. That what is with us we take for granted, and that which is closest to us we never notice, and that very thing we search far and wide and never find it, and life goes searching for it. In all ancient literature, the story of the musk deer has been told, who has the musk in its own navel, intoxicated with that sweet smell, runs around all its life searching for the source of the musk, but never realizing that it is always with it only. In the same way, whether we are searching for peace or happiness, or we are searching for that perfect love, it is always with us. All we have to do is discover it. But one thing that always remains a mystery, that has been a matter of discussion of scholars, philosophers, scientists, and yet no one seems to give clear answers. And that mystery of mystery is, from where, why, how this creation came into being. But the fact that we see a creation, a fact that we see this world, it itself shows that the world must have a cause. There is no effect without a cause. Is it possible? An effect without cause. Without the principle of existence, can anything exist? When we inquire, it becomes clear that if there is creation, there has to be a cause of creation. call it by any name, but if there is an effect, there must be a cause. There can be no effect without a cause. We see this ever emerging world, ever changing world, appearing and disappearing. There must be a cause. Religion calls it as God. Philosophy calls it as truth. Science is searching for it as reality. And the majority of the world is confused. What is this mystery of mysteries that always remains a mystery? There's a lot of belief about God. People kill, murder, plunder. Civilizations are built on it. Civilizations come to an end because of it. Who or what is this God? What is it about this God that fascinates mankind, that for centuries and for millenniums, they have been trying to search for it or for that? As much as people question, the majority of the world are believers of God only. Is it not? Even those who say that they are atheist, when there is problems, you should see them sitting in the church, temple, mosque or gurudwara. I think when all of us were youngsters, we all at some period of time thought God is some energy, there's no such thing as God. But when examination came, we are always sitting, praying. Is it not? What is that power that everybody searches for, believes in, etc.? People have got belief of God, and there are many concepts of God that is floating around. But one thing cannot be denied, that if there is an effect, there has to be a cause. There are people who say that of course, there has to be a cause from which this effect has come forth, because no effect can come out of nothing. Great. But just as a tree comes from the seed, and the seed then perishes, and there is a tree, so whoever created this world now perished, now the world continues. But the fact that the one who created this world still is evident in creation, because the creation is functioning beautifully, is it not? To create any law requires an intelligent lawmaker. We call ourselves intelligent by only trying to discover some of these laws and make use of these already existing laws. And we say we are scientists. Even to discover these laws and make intelligent use of it, you require intelligence. To make this law, how much intelligence will be required? Oh yes, there was this big boss who's created some very effective systems which are in place. But no systems work until and unless there is a law governor also, is it not? If there were traffic laws and traffic lights, would any of you follow it? Because, or even if there are red light cameras, somebody is manning the red light cameras, that's why you follow, is it not? That itself shows that there is a law governor. One man went to collect money for the bill, for the invoice that was sent to this company. And there was a standing on order that when anybody comes to collect the bill, say the boss is not in. But this man, he was an expert. He just sat there. The boss calls from inside. Is he still there? Tells the secretary, tell him the boss is not coming. He said, he might change his mind. I'll sit here. No, there's an emergency in the boss house. He might not come back for a couple of days. Okay, I'll try in the evening. Maybe everything is just a false alarm. Finally, the boss realizes this man is not going to go, calls the man inside and said, "You were sure that I was inside, that's why you waited. How did you know that I was in the office?" He said, "That was very clear. Everybody was working." That the whole universe works with precise laws, it shows the boss is in. That itself is proof, is it not? Another beautiful logic that has been given by the great rishis is, what is the proof that God is? The greatest proof is that people argue against God's existence. Yeah. How do you prove to an atheist that God is? The fact that the atheist is arguing about it, which means it exists. Yeah. Does anybody argue about your tail? Have you ever had an argument with your husband, wife about your tail? Yeah. Does anybody sit and argue about your horns? You only debate and argue about something that exists. So an atheist only proves the existence of some truth or reality. Only may not believe in your concept of that reality or truth. All religions accept that there is a cause behind this world. Only they do not accept your form or you don't accept their form. Then they argue, some don't accept any form, some don't accept the formless. No? On that only people fight, but nobody really fights whether the God exists or not, because that is self-evident. Yet when we give the name God, we have got a certain concept in our mind as some being sitting up somewhere in the universe somewhere, and wow, what a mighty intellect he must be having. That out of the 6 billion people, whatever is happening every moment in their life, he knows everything. And not only that, there are billions of varieties of creatures and zillions of other creatures. To think that there's one person sitting up there with either a long beard or with a flute in his hand, all these concepts people may debate about. But nobody can deny that this creation has to have an existing, intelligent cause. It cannot be denied. What is that cause of this entire universe? When we say universe, means all its multiple galaxies and everything that exists in it. The cause of the total universe, everything, time, space, when you imagine about it, the cause of the universe has to be infinite. The cause of the entire universe has to be infinite. Now, when we were inquiring as to what is it that we are seeking in our life, we had seen that we all seek peace, don't we? And how will you get peace? When there is no limitation. Yeah? When there is no desire. And when will there be no desire whatsoever? Only where there is fulfillment, there will be no desire. We had seen about happiness also, that what is happiness? When you think sorrow is there when there is unfulfillment of a desire. Desire is there when? Do you desire anything you already have? When there is a sense of incompleteness. Incompleteness is there when there is finitude. Is it not? So if sorrow is finitude, happiness should be what? Happiness should be what? A is equal to B. B should be equal to? A is equal to B and B is equal to C. So A is equal to C. Whether you want fulfillment of all your desires where there is no desire whatsoever, then only there can be peace. If you want permanent everlasting happiness, simple, we saw that you have to seek that which is permanent, which means unconditioned by time. And if you want total fulfillment, then it must be infinite. Whether you want peace or whether you want happiness, it can be gained only in the infinite. And when we inquired, we found out that peace is my nature, happiness is my nature. And if peace and happiness is infinitude, therefore my nature must be what? Infinite. My own nature must be infinite. So that infinite where you are, which you are searching, also lies where? As your nature only. And that God no one can deny, because it's a denial of your own existence. Is it not? And therefore, even the God that we search is found in only knowing yourself. But then what is this God that we all are worshipping? And why do we worship that God? That is the question that arises in our mind. This mystery of mystery that creates this world of multiplicity from one cause, just as many ornaments are made from one gold, just like many pots are made from one mud. In the same way, from that one infinite only, the entire universe has come forth. Now, if that has come forth from it, then where is that cause? Is it not clear that where the effect, there alone is the cause? If the ornaments has come from gold, where is gold? In the mines. One day I met Mr. Pot. In Australia, there is Mr. Pot, Mr. Shoe, Mr. So I met Mr. Pot at the airport. He was on the other side of the escalator. I was going on this side. I said, "Hi, Mr. Pot." Mr. Pot said, "Hi, Swami." So I said, "Mr. Pot, where are you going?" "Swamiji, I'm going to find my source." I said, "Where?" "In the Himalayas." I said, "And what's your source?" The mud pot laughs and says, "Don't you know? It's mud." And holding his belly, Mr. Pot was laughing. So I said, if mud is not in the belly, then where is it? Where the effect, there alone is the cause. And thus, when it is said that the entire universe is nothing but the expression of that one cause only, we keep hearing these statements, but we don't understand the meaning of it. That one cause from which the entire universe has come, just as from one gold comes all the gold ornaments. Then where the ornaments, there alone is the gold. Is it not? If you want to find gold, you can find it in every gold ornament, because the effect cannot remain separate from its cause. Remove the cause, remove the gold from the ornament. Will it remain? One mathematics professor, young man, got married as per the advice of his mother, because women only understand women better. Therefore, follow your advice on whom to marry. So, she got him married with a village girl, because he knows city girl is not going to look after him. And truly enough, whatever he says, yes, 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 because after marriage they want a cow only. Before marriage they want the wild one. After marriage they want the tamed one. Yeah. But when the cause itself is wild, how can the effect be tame? So, she got him married. And he was a mathematics professor. And being a mathematics professor, he never was paid enough. Teachers were never paid enough those days. So one day, he calls. He's always in debts. And he doesn't know how to pay off the debts. The loan sharks are behind him. His expenditure is, as always, more than his income. So while he was looking around, he noticed that, from the village she's come, they never give their daughters empty-handed. So she was wearing a nice, thick chain. Now, how does he get that chain out of her? So he calls, he says, Kalyani, come here. As usual, Kalyani obeys. Now I'm going to teach you algebra. Okay. Whatever you want. She sits there. Then he says, listen, this is algebra. A plus B is equal to C. Now that much alphabet she learnt even in her school. Yeah. But plus and equal to, that's new algebra, okay? So A plus B is equal to C. So she repeats, A plus B is equal to C. Then he shows, 2A plus 3B is equal to C, which is 5. Understood? Understood. Then he says, now, C minus A is equal to B. She also repeats, C minus A is equal to B. This is called as formula. He shows her also, See, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. A plus B is equal to C. But C minus A is equal to B. So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. 5 minus 2 is equal to? Even Kalyani understood. Is equal to 3. So A plus B is equal to C. C minus A should be equal to? C minus A should be equal to? B. Yeah. You're already creating doubts in my mind. Yeah. No wonder that's what's happening to Australia's economy, Yeah. So A plus B is equal to C. C minus A is equal to B. And shows it with numbers. She understands that. And then he tells her, see. Gold plus chain is equal to gold chain. Is it not? 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So, gold plus gold chain is equal, plus chain is equal to gold chain. Now you give me the gold chain, I will go and sell the gold and give you the chain. Because Gold chain minus gold is equal to? Even Kalyani knows not to answer like you. You mean gold chain minus gold is equal to chain? See, I tell you, no wonder. Gold chain minus gold, there is no chain. Isn't it? Got it or not? Or you're confused? Vedanta is not confusing. Mathematics can be very confusing. Yeah? Remove gold from gold chain, there is no chain. Remove the effect, remove the cause from the effect, there is no effect. In the same way, if you apply these three laws, if there is a universe, there has to be a cause of the universe. Where is that cause present? In the universe itself. But the third is the important point. Remove the cause, the effect cannot remain. What is it that removed from you? Neither you nor your world remains. That is the cause, without which thing exists. You can give it a name if you want to, but if you want to inquire, even when one of your limbs are not there, you exist or not? Even if your senses are not there, you exist or not? Yeah? If any part of your body is cut off, you exist or not? Which itself shows you are not the body. You are not the senses. Is it not? Without your mind, you exist or not? You do? All your life, what have you been doing? Mindlessly living only, isn't it? No? But in deep sleep, when the mind is not functioning, you exist or not? Yeah? Intellect is not functioning, you exist or not? What is that existence that exists when the body, mind, intellect is not there? That is your truth. That is your reality. And that you cannot become an object. That you cannot be seen as an object because it is the very seer himself. And therefore never becomes the seen. And therefore always remains as a mystery, known but not seen. Therefore, searching for it, people go everywhere trying to see it. Even in the seat of meditation, people are only looking out for some experience, forgetting that no experience is possible without the experiencer. People are looking out for some Atma, some Paramatma. But that which is seen will come and go. But that which is permanent is the seer. And only in discovering that essence, that I am, can you know what is God? Can you find the total fulfillment which is called as happiness? And only then can you find out what is peace. This I am saying from the highest standpoint. Yet, this subtle essence, our mind cannot think of, the intellect cannot speculate, your senses cannot see. Yeah. Then how is it to be recognized? Therefore, it is called as direct knowledge. That self in each one of us, which is unconditioned and therefore infinite. Time and space belong to the mind, and that which transcends the mind is beyond time and space and therefore beyond all limitations. This truth is not very easy for that senses, mind and intellect which are turned extrovert and who know only to objectify things. Therefore, with the senses, mind and intellect, the truth cannot be known. And therefore the struggle of the human mind to know the truth but not know the truth. Meditation is not doing something. Meditation is not trying to experience something. But meditation is dropping all the experiences. And what remains is then the self. Then you will understand what is even meditation. In meditation also people are looking out for some experience, some light, some form. But that essence who is the seer of everything, that existence because of which everything exists, that life-giving force because of which your body, mind, intellect can function, that is your truth. That is your essence. That is your reality. And the whole universe has come only from that reality as a projection. Understanding this, the rishis say that to turn your mind entirely towards the very essence, the mind has to go through a certain training process, which we have been teaching you in the last 4 days. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Then only meditation is possible. What then remains is the pure self. Kena Upanishad so beautifully points out, it is the eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind. And goes to explain that it ever remains unknown and therefore always a wonder. Because if it is known, it is an object. It is the very knower itself. And therefore this knowledge is so subtle, it is unlike any knowledge that we have through our senses, mind and intellect. You know, it's so funny. People attend some spiritual discourses and all that they understand. And that also goes only as in these discourses. Yeah. Be good, do good. And then what? You will get heaven. Isn't that enough? Do good, be good as long as others are good to you. When they are bad to you, all your questions are that one. No? Simple thing told you all to forgive. Every day I know 2 things when I say. One, if I tell them to forgive, you will have a horde of questions coming up. Why? What if, why, It'll go on. Other I'm not telling because the question will come up then, Yeah. Do good means what? For what? That is not spirituality. That is dharma. You do good, good will come to you. But the essence of knowledge is to discover that which cannot be known by the senses, mind, and intellect. Which is not a concept, which is not a philosophy, it is not an idea, nor an experience. That God which is experienced is only an object, and like any object will be finite and limited. So subtle is this knowledge that our mind at every experience will trick us. And therefore, only that mind which has developed through its own discrimination and as guided by the gurus and scriptures, understood the relative nature of the world, the impermanence of the world, and is no longer desiring it, attached to it, knows that it's just like a mirage. You can't hold it nor possess it. Yeah? And any achievement in this world is only temporary, and therefore no ego. Only one who has attained that amount of dispassion born out of knowledge can discover this self. That self which is the God of gods. Because no God also cannot be without existence. No God can also be without consciousness. That self of all is what the Vedas call as God. That is what the great masters try to indicate. But common man cannot recognize it. And therefore, to reach that state of purity, to reach that state of subtlety of the mind and intellect, to reach that state of total detachment, the rishis pointed out that whatever you are seeing in front of you is the form of the Lord. If you want to see gold, where is gold? In all the ornaments. But don't mistake the ornaments to be gold. But no ornament can be without gold. In the same way, without this self called as God, nothing can exist. And therefore, everything in this universe is nothing but an expression of that God only, including you. That one cause only. And therefore, in the Vedas, the description of God is not a particular form of God, but Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha, Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad, Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishtat Dashangulam. That if you want to know what is the form of the Lord, then this whole universe you see in front of you is the form of the Lord. And therefore, service of the people is the service of the Lord of Lords. In our mission pledge, that's there, isn't it? If you read the Upanishads, that if you want to discover the truth that is God, then whatever you see, understand, just as one gold is there in the ornaments, same way that one God is present in each and every one of it, in this universe, in each and everything. Today we have got no value for anything, but I don't know if you were, when you were brought up, even when I was brought up, we were taught never even to bang the door, because God is there even in the door. Never even to kick a stone, because God is there even in the stone. Not ruthlessly pluck any flower also unnecessarily, because God is in that also. Speak not ill to anyone, because you're speaking ill about God. Na jane kis roop mein Narayan mil jaye. Who knows in which form the Lord will come to you. One man, he had heard this, that God will always come to you in your needs. There was a flood in his village. The waters were rising. There was panic everywhere. He said, God will come for my protection. So he waited. Finally, the water rose. He went and sat on the roof. Boat after boat passed from there and said, come, sit on the boat, we'll take you across. I'm not going to go with you. God is there to protect me. Finally, waters were rising. The currents were so fast. All the boats also went away. Finally, helicopters came, throwing ladders down. And the helicopter man, pilot is screaming away, come up, come up, come up. No, God will save me. Finally, the waters drowned him. He died. And when he went to the other side, he said, God, you were supposed to protect me. God said, I came as the running man, you didn't listen to me. I came as the boatman, you didn't listen to me. I came as the pilot of the helicopter, you didn't listen to me. Now what can I do? Yeah. You think every time God will have to come with a yellow dhoti and a flute only to call you, is it? These days, if he comes in that, you might send him off to the circus. These days, if he has to come in, leather jacket, leather jeans, with a guitar in his hand. Then only you will go to listen to him. No? Yeah? You'll go to listen to him playing the flute. Who knows in which form you can discover that divinity. That divinity is in everybody. But wherever you see purity, wherever you see wisdom, wherever you see splendor, it shines forth. It becomes visible. Just like light is reflecting on all the walls, but only where there's a clear surface, you see it its full brilliance, like in a mirror. So wherever there is an equipment, a body, mind and intellect, which clearly reflects the nature of divinity in it, there you see the expression of godliness. Whether it's that saint or sage, whether it's the guru, or whether you see a great personality or an avatar, or whether you see it in your mother, your father, or someone who just miraculously came for your help, demanding nothing from you, expecting nothing from you, and not even knowing you. Thus, wherever there is a pure equipment, divinity shines forth. And in that person, we can see the glimpse of that infinite, that truth, that love. And in this world, we worship that as the visible form of the Lord. In the sun, you see, constantly burning itself to sustain others. We see God in the sun. We see the moon shining in the darkness, but nourishing the herbs, delighting the people. In that we see God. In the infinitude of the sky, Chidambram, you see God. In the treasure, in the ocean full of treasures, in its depth, you see God. You can go to the Alps, but go to the Himalayas, you can see God. Hmm? The awe that it creates. Hmm? Is it not? Hmm? In your mother-in-law, you cannot see it. But in your mother, you can see it, isn't it? But in that very same mother-in-law, your husband sees it. Which means there's chance that you can also. Is it not? The fault is in our seeing. Therefore, some see it in the sun, some see it in the moon. Sun is not God, moon is not God, ring is not gold alone, nor is chain gold alone. But ring also has got gold, and chain also has got gold. The sun also has God, so also has the moon got God. It is with this understanding that so many form was there, because the nature of the self is not easy to discover. But people started fighting against my form, your form. So others said formless. No? Then the formless people started fighting with the form people started fighting with the formless people. Both of them don't know that. All the saints and sages gave up their life on people fighting about concepts about God, when God is beyond all concepts. It's the truth that you are and everyone is. Read the works of any saints and sages of substance. You'll hear the same truth. Tujh mein Ram, mujh mein Ram, sab mein Ram samaya. Sahasra shirsha purushaha. Sahastava naina nana naina hai toi. God pervades the entire universe. Ishavasyam idagam sarvam. Siya Ram mein sab jag jani. Karo pranam jori jug pani. Gat gat mein har ju basai. Santana kaho pukar. Take anybody's statement. Sadho hari ko har mein dekha. Is it not? Lord resides in the hearts of people. Aval Allah noor paya kudrat ke sab bande. Take anything from any statement. It only points out this one truth, that God is in everyone, in everything. And therefore, if we keep that attitude, then service of the people is the service of the Lord of Lords. Tujh mein Ram, mujh mein Ram, sab mein Ram samaya. सबसे कर लो प्यार जगत में, कोई नहीं पराया. When that attitude is there, then every action becomes a worship. Every interaction becomes the meeting with God only. But when we can't do even that, you can't see God in everyone, then at least in your mother see God. At least in your father see God. But these days, for teenagers, mother and father is the greatest curse in life, because they stop them from everything that they want to do bad. At least in your guru see God. Anyone who has come to ask you for any help, don't see him as a poor beggar. Take him as God. Matrudevo bhava, pitrudevo bhava, acharya devo bhava, atiti devo bhava. And in whichever personality that divinity shines forth, recognize the existence of God. It is that same self in you, when functioning through the totality, is the creator, sustainer, and destroyer of the universe. that same reality functioning through the individual has become this individual ego. The ego can only surrender to the totality. And what we pray to, whom we pray to, is that self only functioning through the totality. Just like the Prime Minister is also an individual from your country. But when he gets the power of the totality, he becomes the ruler of the country. And you can derive, when you make your relationship with the Prime Minister, you can get whatever you want, is it not? So understand, the one who functions through the totality is called as Ishvara, the sustainer, the creator, the destroyer. The one who functions through this individual is the Jiva. But the essence behind the totality and the individual, the essence behind the Ishvara and the Jiva is that one indivisible, infinite alone. The difference is only because of the equipments, not in the reality. Just as the difference between you and me is in the equipment, not in the essence. Just as the difference between this table and this table is only in its form, not in its essence. The difference between Jiva and Ishvara is also only in the totality and individuality, not in the essence. What's the difference between the guru and the disciple? The guru has knowledge, the disciple is at the moment ignorant. Is it not? But the essence is one and the same. The greatest mystery is that one alone is appearing as the many, not becoming, but appearing as the many. And we see the many and forget the one. But when we see the one, wherever you see one, there is love. Wherever there is love, there is fulfillment. Where there is fulfillment, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is happiness. Therefore, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib says so beautifully, Jo sukh ko chahe sada sharana Ram ki leha. See? That seek that which is permanent. And that permanent is discovered when you live just as Ram lived. Then you can discover that Ram which revels in the heart of everyone. This is the essence of spirituality. And until you know, I know, God is in everyone, and yet you hate the other person, then what do you really know? Is it not? In the world of plurality, distinctions are seen. In the world of transaction, if a snake comes, you don't say, there's God in you. Yeah, bite my hand. Yeah? But the essence is one and the same. Here God comes with poison, there God comes with nectar. That is how we have to see. Therefore, then what is our sadhana? When we cannot see God in everyone, then take one thing that inspires, in which you see divinity or God. All in every religion, whom do people worship? Some good person, some generous person, some great man of compassion, love, kindness, giving, where you see godliness? Is it not? In the same way, our Vedic scriptures, Puranic scriptures, in whomever you see those qualities, you begin to admire, you imbibe those qualities. Therefore, all the different forms of God that we worship, when the scriptures, the essence is the same. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. That which is Satyam, ever existing, is God. Where is God present? In all the forms. Where can I worship in God? In that form in which all the qualities you require to attain God. Yesterday I showed you the perfect meditator, one who remained balanced. And who is other for a meditator? Who else can you worship other than Shiva in the form? To be cheerful and happy, ever giving and sharing, without any complaints, ever detached and yet in midst of all the activities of the world. Who else can you worship other than Krishna? To remain steady on the path of dharma, uncompromisingly, so that there is no wavering of the mind. Who else can you worship other than Rama? And to feel totally comforted, fearless. Who else can you worship other than Mother? Thus, all these wonderful God figures given for our meditation, rather than just fanatically believing in them, when you worship them with reverence, you imbibe all their divine qualities in you. With that divine qualities, when you inquire about the nature of Mother, when you inquire about the nature of Shiva, when you inquire the nature of Krishna, you'll find the same truth has been revealed. That's the self of every. Recently we had a camp especially for youngsters so that they don't get confused why we got so many gods. And it was called 7 Days, 7 Powers. Taking each of these deities that we worship and understanding what are the qualities we need to imbibe in ourselves, what is the potential we have to discover in ourselves, how we have to live our life, which is demonstrated by each of these deities. And when you dive deep into their nature, your same truth is revealed. Sa Brahma, Sa Shiva, Sa Indra, Sokshara, Paramaswarat, Sa Eva Pranaha, Sa Vishnu, Sa Kalaha. The very Vedas who give us these various different deities for students who are unprepared to see the Lord in everyone or to transcend and discover the one knower of the entire universe. They have pointed out and reminded us that do not get into thinking that this alone, this form is God, but that God is there in every form, just like gold is there in every ornament. When you develop love, as I said, for your own country, then you start respecting the love of others towards their country. And in the patriotism of your country, you find oneness. When two patriots meet, they may belong to different countries, but their patriotism makes them one. When two devotees meet, one day Sudama and Tulsidas ji met. And both hugging each other. They met. Tulsidas ji and Sudama met. Not Sudama, sorry, Surdas. Surdas was a devotee of Krishna. Tulsidas ji was a devotee of Rama. And when they both met each other, Tulsidas ji says, Surdas, you write so beautifully on Krishna. Will you write something on my Rama? And Surdas says, only if you write on my Krishna. And both have written. Tulsidas ji has written some beautiful verses on Krishna. And so has also Surdas written beautiful verses on Rama. Because when two devotees meet, the forms disappear, the devotion remains. One very interesting story is there, that one day Arjuna was walking, and all the time, Arjuna though, every time, Krishna, 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 Krishna. And while he was sitting there trying to meditate Krishna, Krishna, there was this monkey going Ram, 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 Ram. Arjuna just said, what are you going Ram, 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 Ram? I'm trying to do Krishna, 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 Krishna. But he just went Ram, 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 Ram. He said Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. He said Ram, 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 Ram. No. Finally, Arjuna said, Are, worship Krishna. What are you going Ram, 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 Ram? And Arjuna was very proud about his archery. My Krishna is great. He said, my Ram is great. No. They said, how great is your Ram? You had to use you monkeys to build a bridge across the ocean. No. If he was an archer of such a great might, why would he have to use all these monkeys and take their help? He could have built a bridge with his arrows only. The monkey looks at him and says, as though you can build a bridge with arrows. Arjuna could have given an example, the Sydney Bridge. Harbour Bridge. But that time it was not built. So he said, can you build? And who can walk on a bridge of arrows, such thin arrows? Do you know how big, huge monkeys were there? They would have even stepped on it, it would have fallen. Even I would step, and the little monkey says, even if I step on it, it will fall off. So they had a wager, they had a bet. And the bet was that whoever loses becomes the slave of the other. Okay. The bet went. Arjuna invoked his arrows and he actually built a bridge across the river. This monkey goes there, jumps on the bridge, and the bridge comes crumbling down. Small monkey. If Nal, Neel, Sugriva were to walk on it, what would have happened? Arjuna said, oh no, this is the first time, I must get a second chance also. He said, no, you're supposed to be my slave. No, Arjuna said, no, second chance is required, Yeah, I have to test out. First is a sample, Second is a test. And now taking more arrows, he built a strong bridge. This time with so many arrows put together. A perfect mastery of archery and engineering, The little monkey goes there, hits it with its tail, and like a pack of cards, it comes coming down. Then the monkey brings the rope, ties it out around Arjuna. He says, now jump for me. Arjuna is totally in distress, He calls out, Bhagwan, please come and save me. Bhagwan says, whenever you're in distress, only you call me, So Arjuna immediately falls and says, please, Bhagwan, please help me. No, Bhagwan doesn't come, Bhagwan just came some ordinary man's form there. And said, this is not a right wager. Said, why? He said, because Arjuna's bridge was very strong. But if the monkey is Hanuman, which bridge can stand anyway? And you didn't say you are Hanuman. And then Hanuman recognizes and goes down. Shri Ram. Arjuna says, Shri Krishna. Then Arjuna says, no, but this is Krishna. But he says, no, but this is Ram. No? And Krishna says, enough is enough. The same one is Ram, the same one is Krishna. Even there people will make distinctions. In this Maya, which makes distinctions, those who hold on to distinctions remain in Maya. Those who recognize the oneness are liberated. So with this knowledge, worship any particular form that you find dear to you. Yeah. And in the love of that form, see that form in everyone. I was talking to you about Leela and Majnun, no? Yeah? That when your heart is so full of love that you cannot see anybody but your beloved everywhere. There's no sight for anybody else. Therefore, wherever you see, jidhar bhi dekhu, jahan bhi dekhu, bas tu ek mujhko dikha raha hai. Then in every form you see that one only. Where is it that you cannot see that Lord? When Vivekananda went as Narendra to Sri Ramakrishna Paramhamsa and said, have you seen God? And Ramakrishna says, yes, I see him more clearly than I see you. So he said, where is God? He said, here you are, Tattvamasi. Yeah? The one I'm seeing in front of me is God. The one who is seeing is also God. That wisdom you develop. That knowledge is not that simple. That's why the requirement of a guru in our life. Because people read the scriptures and on the scriptures only misunderstand and go and fight with others. The truth, when revealed by the person who knows the truth, is gained as the truth. Once we understand, then we will understand the importance of knowledge. Jnaneva tu kaivalyam. This truth, which is infinite, has not to be produced, it has only to be discovered. And lifetimes of processes that we go through, lifetime of religious practices that we go to, is finally to train the mind and intellect to become quiet, peaceful, so that this knowledge can take place, which does not objectify the truth, but which is the truth itself. And therefore always remains as a mystery. In Kena Upanishad, very beautifully it is pointed out. That those who say they know it, don't know it. Those who say they don't know it, know it. For the wise, it always remains unknown. For the ignorant, it is known. The ignorant can only see that which is known. The wise discover that which can never be known as an object, but is the very knower. Mystery of mysteries, no? Did you understand it? Yes. You understood it? Those who say yes didn't understand. Those who say no also never understood. And those who are quiet also have not understood. Because it ever remains a mystery. But it is known. And yet remains unknown. How do you know that you've got eyes? Have you ever seen your eyes? Never. Even in the mirror, you're seeing the reflection of your eyes, not your eyes. With your eyes, you cannot see your eyes. But the fact that you see, you know that you have got eyes, is it not? The fact that you are conscious shows that you are consciousness. That's how it is to be known. If you've known it, you've known it. If you've not known it, you still know it. Because it is that only that you are knowing everything. And therefore, it remains a mystery. This is a beautiful story. That when man was created, they knew that animals will not search for it. This man is so greedy, he will want everything. He'll want to own everything, he'll want to conquer everything, and one day he's also going to conquer God and try to gain God and overpower God. And don't say no. I've met many children especially who say, I don't know why they are so angry with God at such a young age. What do you want to do? I want to find God and I want to kill God. So they said this man will even try to kill everybody, including his own father, his own mother, to gain whatever he wants. One day he will come even searching for God. So they tried to hide God in heaven. There also man found him. He tried to find God in some remote place. There also they found him. So finally they found that place where man will never search. Yeah? And he will never believe also. And God remains safely there. Yeah? And he knew that even if there will be someone telling them, they'll look at it and say, ah. For they will never find him there. But some rare one does find. Yeah. And that rare one can be you. Why do you doubt it? Because even you can't about God. So find it in this life. With that, we conclude these mystery series. But to know this truth, there has to be constant reflection, constant meditation. Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasana. Therefore, see that you attend your weekly satsangs, constantly refreshing. Do your sadhana, do your seva. Worship the Lord at your house. Serve the Lord wherever you go. And in your quiet moments of meditation, have a rendezvous with yourself. With that, we conclude these mystery series, and the very quintessence of all the knowledge we have brought to you in these 5 series. Those of you who attended all 5, contemplate on it. Whatever instructions you have given in the simplest of words is the quintessence of all practices. In between, to achieve this, there are 101 methods. That goes to make the different paths, the different religions, etc. But it is meant for this. If you can achieve it the way we have pointed out, it is the easiest. Otherwise, you can turn, twist your body, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, worship, read, chant, whatever you want. All of them are helpful. But they have to get you to this point only. If they don't, they are useless. If they do, then also they are useless. What? Because you find out that you could have done even without them. I told you, mystery of mystery I'm telling you today. So if you didn't understand it, it's a mystery. Just to let you know, there is a lot there to discover. Don't think I know it all. So, keep your regular Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan going. Daily take up some verses from the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, from the various scriptures. Read them, try to understand them, not just chant them and be fanatic about the superficial meaning of them. Understand them. The quintessence of truth is there, it only needs to be revealed. Therefore, the teachings of the great masters, the commentaries, etc., are helpful. So try to gain it, and in this life itself, gain the truth. As you have seen, over the period of time, we give you the complete knowledge, whether it's the path of service or action, called as Karma Yoga, whether it is the path of worship, etc., called as Upasana or Bhakti Yoga, or whether it's the path of inquiry and meditation, Jnana Yoga. All these we have explained at different periods of time, summarizing everything so that you have the complete personality development. Physical, with the body, serve the world. With your mind, love the world and the Lord. And with your intellect, seek the truth. That is the way. So, karma, bhakti, jnana, attain the truth. We have summarized this for you. And as we also take the subtle Upanishads, so also we take the beautiful Ramayana, etc. Just as we take all, the Vedantic scriptures, we also bring you quotes from all the scriptures of the world, so that you understand that the truth may be there in most religions of the world, but does not belong to any one religion. And let not everybody come and tell you, my path is greater than your path, etc. Once you have understood the universality, let them practice what they practice. You practice confidently what you practice with full knowledge of it. When there is knowledge, there is no fanaticism. When there is belief, there is fanaticism. So we have given you the complete path to be peaceful. Are you peaceful or not yet? You didn't drop it. Now turn and twist your body. Do whatever you want to. Yeah? Struggle. Follow the instruction. If you have not understood it, get the CDs, get the DVDs, listen to it again. These 5 sessions, we have given you the complete quintessence of spirituality. And simple ways of practicing it. So, get it, listen, practice it. So with that, we will conclude. So, close your eyes gently. Mentally bowing down to the Guru, take the blessings of Sri Gurudev. If any image or form of the Lord that is dear to you, or anything from nature, bring it to your mind and revel in its beauty, that nothing else distracts you. And let your heart speak out to the Lord of your heart. and ask only for this knowledge by which you can discover the truth of the Lord. Ask only to love the Lord, and that whatever you do be a service to the Lord. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Purnamada Purnamidam. That is infinite. All this that we experience is only that infinite appearing in the different forms. Remove the appearance of names and forms, the infinite alone remains. May there be peace, may there be peace, may there be peace. To all the great masters, great gurus, from time immemorial, our humble prostrations.